Hey everybody, this is Ryan Mallory with the stock market crash update number 6. This is a midweek update. Usually I save them for Fridays, but I'm still planning on doing another one on Friday. But because of the market conditions are ever changing, I want to double up on how many of these updates that I'm doing. So I'm doing a midweek one too. The primary purpose of this video is to outline the 3 different scenarios that I see possibly playing out in the days, weeks ahead. But first, we're going to look at the S&P 500 monthly chart. One of the things that makes this market unique so far this year is that all 3 months have finished in the green, both January, February, and March. That's something that we haven't seen since late 2015, early 2016 when we declined 3 straight months in a row. And if we're going to make it fourth, like what April's suggesting here in the first day of trading, that's something that we haven't seen since 2011. So we're getting into some rare space here for the last 10 years of trading. To put it in perspective, going back to 2008, we saw the market decline as much as 5 months in a row. But we actually did, even in 2008, see different periods where the market would bounce for 1 to 2 months at a time. So even if this market continues to sell off the rest of this year, there's still going to be moments where the market bounces. And I'm not saying that the market's going to sell off the rest of this year. There's a good chance that when the coronavirus comes and goes and people get back to work, that we're going to see a spectacular rally in the market. Let's talk about the 3 different scenarios that we have possibly playing out. The first, the S&P 500 is in a continuous downtrend off of the February highs. We have not improved. Even with the bounce last week, we have not improved the long-term outlook of this market. It is still in a downtrend. Look at this. Going back to late February highs, we have a downtrend that tested here in early March, and then again here in late March, and then now we're selling off here in early April. It hasn't broken the downtrend yet. The downtrend is still in place. Despite the hard rally that we saw last week, nothing has actually changed technically on the charts. So scenario 1. What are we looking at? This is where a lot of your retail traders are at. They're saying, hey, you buy when everybody's fearful. They're buying. They're getting the Robinhood apps. They're getting into the TD Ameritrade accounts. And they're buying stocks left and right thinking that, and some of them are not even using big accounts, but there's a lot of people that are very optimistic that this is like a once-in-a-generation buying opportunity. And that may be true, but it may actually come at a different point in time. And despite today's sell-off, they see the market going straight up from here. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, and this is also popular, and I would say people are split between these 2 camps. And that concerns me a little bit because it's a very crowded theory, and usually the market goes where a lot of people are not expecting it to go. But scenario number 2 says we retest these bottoms, or we get close to retesting these bottoms. Maybe we put in a slight higher low on the chart, and then we ramp up from here. That's another very popular opinion. A lot of your technical analysts are saying that. A lot of your more newer traders who haven't really experienced major sell-offs in the market that weren't there for 2008, that weren't there for 2000, or if you go back, they weren't there for 1987 either, obviously, if they weren't there for 2000 or 2008, they all think that the stock market's just going to go straight back up. The ones that have gone through some pretty crazy times here, they recognize how crazy this sell-off is. They think that, okay, we're probably going to retest those lows. It's probably not going to be a V-shaped bottom. But there's a third camp, and this is the one that I'm finding myself in right now, because the more I look at these charts, the more I look at long-term trends, this is the camp that I find myself in. Do I hope I'm right? No. I hope the market does what camp number 1 ultimately hopes for, and that's for it to go back up, because there's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people in pain. There's a lot of people seeing their retirements just in shambles right now. However, scenario 3 is the one that I subscribe to right now, and the one that I'm expecting to play out until the market proves me otherwise. Scenario 3 has us going all the way down, retesting these lows, but ultimately blowing right through them. Yeah, that's not what a lot of people, what a lot of people want to hear here. But I kind of feel like that I'm one of the few people that are actually in this camp. I know there's others out there too, and I'm not some perma bear. I was trading long all the way up until late February. However, the technicals, they're just not lining up that good for a strong market bounce at this moment. I also want to mention that the trend line off of the 2016 lows, it was broken, but what's even more interesting is our response to that broken trend line since then. Last week's rally, as strong as it was, ran right into that broken trend line. What did it do? Did it break through it? No, it sold off notably. What has it done this week? It has retested it and sold off pretty hard today. So there's some resistance there. The market's not wanting to break it back above it, and it suggests that we're going to retest these 2346 lows again from the December 2018 sell-off. If that doesn't hold, then yes, I still holding on to the idea that we blow through the lows from last week and we're going to test this 1800 level. But perhaps it doesn't even get that far. Maybe we find a new support level somewhere around here at the 2100 or 2000. Maybe it's a nice round number like 2000. But I do think at some point we're going to scare the people who bought into the last week's rally, and it's going to shake a lot of people out of their trades. So that's the three scenarios. The three scenarios, the first two being the most popular. One, we've already put the bottom in, we're going straight back up. The second scenario, we retest last week's lows and then we bounce back up, we form a double bottom. The one that I subscribe to, the one that there's probably the fewest people in that camp of, is the one that we retest last week's lows and we blow right through them. So that's going to do it for today. I really encourage you to like and subscribe to this video. I really appreciate the positive feedback you guys have been giving me. Feel free to leave comments in the section below if you think that I can do something better, or if you think that you have an opinion that's different from mine. I want to hear about it, because in the end, we're all in this together. I want to succeed in the market just like you do. And so I'm giving you guys my best attempt at understanding these markets and where I see it going. So yes, please be sure to like and subscribe to the video. I thank you guys and appreciate you guys for listening in. God bless.